In the game of loans, you either win or you learn. Welcome to the game of loans, where fortunes are forged and empires are built. Your hosts, lords of lending and wholesaling, are here to guide you through the realm of real estate and wealth building. Brace yourselves, cash flow is coming. For our audience,
Yes.
explain to them what you do, what a tax office does, what it's similar to, because a lot of people aren't going to know.
Okay.
You know?
All right. So we're similar to H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt or TurboTax or
Right.
whatever. You show up, we'll file your taxes, we send them off. If you, let's say one of our clients needs the same day advance. Okay, look, I need some money now. We just had Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, back to school, first of the month. We are strapped. We need money today. Okay, cool. We can give you up to $7,000 of your tax return on the spot. Okay, cool. We can give you the balance of it up to 5 days before the IRS date, right? So we have different things like that we can use to help
That's
the
awesome.
people that come into the office. And we just file regular 1040s. We focus on that. That's our niche for two reasons. For one, we don't want to work all year. We don't want to do quarterlies and do bookkeeping and payroll and all of that stuff, right?
So someone like me wouldn't come to you because
no.
I need like a CPA.
Right.
So somebody that is a W-2 employee,
Yes.
or even like a 1099,
Yes.
someone with a 1099 come
That's
to you.
who is
Okay.
our
That's-
client,
that's
the
who your client is.
everyday person.
Right.
We
Okay.
do as many as we can, and then in April, we close the doors and we enjoy the rest of the year.
Okay.
Right. So 6 months of vacation, and then we
Right.
get back rolling.
Okay.
So that's pretty much how it works, you
Okay.
know? And and if people want to get involved in the tax business, I also help people to get involved. I have helped people completely transform their lives with taxes. People who probably never had a job at one point have now made 7 figures in the tax business.
Wow.
Right. And this money is made in 4 months. You know what I'm saying? And there's 3 ways that they can get involved. For one, if you have a job you love, you kind of want to stick your toes in the water, you don't want to jump out there and be a full entrepreneur yet,
Right.
come in as a contractor. You can pay a little fee. We'll teach you how to be a contractor. We'll do a split with you. You can prepare taxes from your laptop remotely from anywhere, after work, at home, anywhere. Clients from all 50 states. Supplement your income. Make an extra $20,000 to $50,000 in 4 months in addition to what you make at your job. Cool. Or come in, you got a little budget, you want to start something, open a virtual office. Have contractors work for you. They can be working from all 50 states, right? Just have a place to take meetings and receive mail, a shared office space, and you can make an extra $100,000, $200,000, sometimes even 3 in a matter of 4 months. Or if you have the money to do a full-scale brick and mortar physical location, you can have hourly employees, you can have contractors working for you from anywhere, and you can make up to or more than $1 million in a season from a single location. And I have done it, and some of my affiliates have done it more than once.
That's amazing.
So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I got going on now.
So, a lot of the new generation, right? They don't like to talk to people.
Yeah.
Right? Like they'd rather just go and file
Yeah.
their taxes on TurboTax and stuff like that, right? I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Like I could never do that.
Yeah.
I want to speak to somebody all the time. I'm older than you, but I just and I think it's a great idea because your business does that, right?
Yeah.
And people want to sit down and they want to have like a friendly voice to talk to and be like, ask questions, and it's not, and it's not AI, and it's not,
Nope, it's not none of that.
a computer where you're filling stuff in, or where where you're like, even if you're smart, or know your way around, you're like, well, did I fuck this up?
Yeah.
Like, did I do this correctly? Like, am I getting enough fucking money back, or is the government screwing me? What the fuck's happening?
See, the beautiful part about the way that we do it is we give everybody all the options. You want to go to the website and just submit your info to an office, you can, and then somebody will call you back with a quote. If you want to get on a Zoom call, right, or a Teams call, and look at the person face to face while they're preparing your taxes and ask any questions you want, you can do that. We have a secure portal where we'll send you a link. You can upload all of your stuff. It populates in our software. We'll prepare it, send you back your quote. You like it, sign from your phone, you're done, right? Or if you want to show up to an office, you can show up to a physical location and file your taxes like you will at H&R Block or anywhere else, right? So we just give people all of the options, whatever makes them comfortable,
That's great. So what would you say your demographic of person is?
I would say middle class to lower class.
Okay.
Right? These are the people we focus on. These are the
Okay.
people we have the tools and the skills to serve through and through. That is our main demographic.
Okay.
Now we can help everybody, right? Because we have a CPA that is our partner, right? So we do refer people there when they need tax strategy, high level tax planning,
Okay.
and stuff like that. But the niche that we like to focus on, the bulk of our business, which is probably 95% of our business, is middle class to lower class.
Okay. And then what age group would you say?
Any age group.
Yeah.
Any age group. Now, young people like to work for us.
Right.
So our team is mainly young, vibrant individuals from, early 20s to mid 40s.
Okay.
Right. And that's what our team is comprised of. I like to work alongside of people who get it, who get the heartbeat of things, who have social media, who understand what's going on in the communities and how to talk to people and what they're dealing with. Because in the end, the most gratifying part of this is actually helping people. I've been in it 12 years now, so I've seen people's kids grow up and then come and become our clients now.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I do back to school drives every year, and I didn't have, like, you got to understand something. I didn't come from a family that was full of a bunch of highly successful people. We didn't have all of that in our family. So everything I'm learning on my own, I'm just figuring out that you could get sponsors for your back to school drives. I've been doing this out of pocket because I love these people.
Right.
Because without them, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
So I've been going in my pocket to buy every book bag, every laptop, every bicycle, every meal, everything, for the last 9 years. And just all of that, and seeing these people come back and grow up, and I continue to serve them. That is the most gratifying part of all of this.
And then what would you say, like, your retention is? Like, let's say you have 100 clients. How many come back to you the following year? Do you have like a solid retention?
I do. Okay. I do. I would say, and this is the thing in our industry, right? Because there's so much misinformation floating around when it comes to taxes, because it is a business with low barriers of entry and high profit margins. It's always in the top 5 or 10 in Forbes of any business in the U.S. you can do with high profit and low barriers of entry. Yes, absolutely. Right? So because of that, there's always misinformation. There's new people popping up. So the competition is there, and a lot of people get cycled around. But at least 40 to 60% of our clients are going to return.
Wow.
Right? But the beautiful thing about this business is retention is great, but guess what? Every human being that you see is a potential client.
Yeah.
This is the only business in America where you have this many opportunities to make money, because everybody is obligated to do taxes.
Of course.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree with you.
And this is the only business like this. Death and taxes are the only two recession-proof guaranteed businesses. But you only die once, but you file taxes every single year.
Yeah.
Right? So with that being said, even if people don't come back, there's a million other people that you can file. And there's always somebody new moving to your town, and somebody new being born, and somebody turning of age to work every single year. So there's going to be an injection of new clients every year that don't even have a home tax office or anybody that they're loyal to.
Look, I love like ingenious businesses like that and people that get behind it. So in the states that you're in and the cities you're in, do you have physical offices in those places?
Yes, I have physical offices in all of those places.
Wow. And those are your offices, or are you partnering with people in those offices?
My affiliates own about half, and I own the other half outright.
Okay.
Right? So my affiliate program is what I use to bring people in. So I help them open branded and non-branded offices, right? So some of them have a safe tax, and some of them have an office named whatever they want. Like there's advanced tax experts, right? There's Kindred tax, right? There's Zoom tax. There's so many different ones, but we're all the same family. We train together. I coach them together. We're in the same network. We're in the same system. We do business the same way.
That's great. So they come to you and you give them the whole system.
I give everybody everything, top to bottom. I'm going to give you your software. I'm going to teach you how to use it. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about the business, how to manage the day, how to hire, how to fire, how to market. I'm going to give you all of your scripts for how you talk to people on the phone, what you say to them when you're out in the field, what you say to your returning clients, what you say to people that didn't show up for an appointment. Everything is already scripted. I'm going to give you all of your systems that you need to be able to send out text blasts, email blasts, all of your systems that you're going to need to be able to manage productivity in your office, to see who's making the calls and sending out the texts, and be able to go in and listen to the calls and read the text that all of your employees are doing. I'm going to give you you the blueprint on how you build out your office and optimize it for workflow, all of the landmarks that you need to see to know that you're putting your office in the right place, the demographics that you look at to know if this part of the market is the best place to open up in. I give them everything that they need, and then I hold their hand in perpetuity. And as long as you're holding my hand, every single person that ever started with me has been profitable.
That's amazing. I think for you, you should look into multifamily.
So what's that?
That's like 20 units plus.
Okay.
You know, like a 20 unit building.
Okay.
Because you have the cash flow, you could cost seg the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll help you. I mean,
okay.
You know, so if you find a project like that you could either build, I always like to build those because I'll tell you why. If you come across anything that is cash flowing well, you're going to pay out of your ass for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And you're not going to have much equity built in.
Right.
But if you can find the right spot and build it, you're going to get your equity because you built it yourself.
How do you feel about that market over there, that Ocala, Citrus Springs?
I don't know it well enough, but I would say that would be a great market for it.
Okay.
Or any market where, you know, so a lot of people are talking shit about multifamily, right? Oh, multifamily sucks. Multifamily this. I think they're right if they're in secondary or tertiary markets, right? But if you're in a primary market, like even outside of somewhere like, let's say, Orlando,
yeah.
You're not fucking losing.
Yeah,
man.
for real.
You're not losing.
Absolutely.
Because people over there are always going to need a place to stay.
Right. But and this is the thing, right? I'm not even looking at it for me.
Right.
I'm looking at it for my kids
Of
and
course.
my kids' kids.
Yeah.
Right.
It's how much of this
build wealth. How much of this stuff
Yeah.
can I put on the board, right? Because
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing, right? So, and this is me. This is my personal strategy.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and give everybody my personal strategy. Okay. So I want to purchase the multifamilies, right? I'll benefit from the cost seg study, right? The tax benefits. Okay. All right. That's cool. Right. But what I also do is I purchase life insurance, right? At an alarming rate. I make sure that my death benefit is enough to cover whatever assets that I am buying, right? Which I got a paper right now in my email after this that I got to sign because I'm adding like $2 or $3 grand more a month to a policy, right? Okay, cool. So now what happens is I've lived a wonderful life. I've had a great life. I pass away. Well, guess what happens? The death benefit on all of those policies, they pay off all of that multifamily stuff that I bought for my kids. Now they're inheriting that stuff for free. And there's still a cash value in those policies that they're also going to receive.
Right.
So now I'm passing down real estate that's cash flowing.
Right.
I'm giving them a cash value from the policy, right? And they're picking up real estate that they don't have to pay anything for.
That's amazing.
So I'm doing this for my great grandkids. It ain't even about me because, you know, with my primary business, taxes, I make enough money to live a decent life, right? And I'm okay. Now it's about creating legacy, right? And that's where a lot of people, especially young people that are in business that are successful, are going wrong. They're not even thinking about legacy. No. They are just having a ball for themselves right now. Buying, got 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, 6 cars for what? You know, got a crazy penthouse that you don't even own that you're spending $25,000 a month for. For what? What are you doing this for? Renting yachts and doing all for what? Right? Because they think that the money is never going to stop. They think that one day, they're not even thinking about the day when their health starts to be fleeting. Thinking about the day when they have children and what those kids are going to need, right? So I'm focused on legacy. So even if, you know, I'm in a situation where I'm strapped in this multifamily and the cash flow is really just covering it so that I can own the property, well, guess what? That's fine for me because my kids are going to inherit this for free later on.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, I hope, you know, your kids see this in the future and they're like, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
Dad was hooking us up, man. Dad was hooking us up, man. Listen, I'm telling you.
I have an idea for you.
Okay.
Because you have physical offices, right?
Yes.
Okay. So some of the wealthiest people I know are people that have not businesses like that, but like I know a guy up in New York. He's in his late 70s now. And he was in the 7-Eleven business. But what he was doing was he would buy or build the location, and put the 7-Eleven in there.
Mm.
And so he was the landlord and he was the owner. And then I know other guys here, for instance, that own like 150 Wendy's locations, and they own like 100 of the locations. So they're the landlord. They actually own the land. So that could be something you can add.
So build the plaza.
Correct.
Put the office in it.
Put the office in it, right? So now you're your own landlord.
Right.
You're paying your own rent,
Right.
right? And then if you ever decide to sell the business even,
Right.
guess what?
I'm still owning it. And the owner of the new business is paying me.
Correct.
Yes.
And,
I like it.
And the perpetual value of your business, like 10x's by itself. Because,
I love it.
And God, I don't even know if you ever do even decide to exit the business,
Right. Which is like definitely the long plan.
Which makes sense, obviously, because you're not going to want to do this forever, right?
Right.
And if the exit came,
Yeah.
imagine if that was linked to real estate.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Right. I like it.
I mean,
Then I'm like McDonald's.
yeah, exactly like
Right.
McDonald's.
Exactly.
Exactly like
Yes.
McDonald's. Now,
Yes.
you could either do a center or you could do like if it's places where you can have a single family house that you could, it could be like commercial use.
I know exactly what you're talking about. A lot of places own like that
Mixed
in
use.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of places.
So there's different places
Yeah.
like that.
Even do mixed use and do that 20 unit like you said and have the retail space at the bottom.
Correct. Doesn't even need to be 20.
Yeah.
You could even have like 2 apartments over the store or something like that, right? And the store is where your office is.
Yeah. I like it.
And
I like it. Just bringing the real estate in, man.
Just
That's
bring-
why I'm here, man. I'm trying to learn from the biggest.
man, if
Trying to learn from the biggest.
Now, if you bring the real estate in, you're
Yeah.
paying yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dual
And
businesses.
Crazy equity, crazy leverage.
Crazy
Yeah.
leverage.
Yeah.
I mean, you're winning.
Yeah.
And then now, later on, 10 years down the road,
Right.
you go speak to one of these hedge funds.
So when I call you and I'm like, hey Steve, I'm trying to get this plaza up. I need X amount of dollars. I'm doing your idea. You believe in me? Cut the check, Steve.
They will do it.
All right.
But I honestly, I really believe in that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to sell your business at one point.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure you do.
Thank
We're
you.
friends now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hook you up. We'll go to some of these hedge funds and stuff like that. I'll get you a crazy fucking multiple.
Cool.
Right? So, because hedge funds love this shit.
Yeah.
They love your business.
Yeah.
Businesses like your business.
Yeah.
They love that shit.
Yeah.
They'll eat you up.
Okay. I love it.
They wouldn't even know what to do,
Yeah.
right? So let's say you get to like 100 locations or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and then you decide to sell out, and you don't care because they still need the location,
Right.
and guess who's the landlord?
And I still own it.
And you still own it,
Still
and
own
you're the landlord, and they're still paying
or
you.
you're going to have to lump that money in and we have to make a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or buy me out.
Right.
You want the real estate too?
Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
Right.
And then now you're really getting cashed out, right?
I love it, man.
And then, so I have a friend of mine, very, I can't say similar to your story, but he's from Long Island. He ran into some problems, and he had to go away for a little bit on vacation, if you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So he took a little break, and then he came out, and because he took that break, it was very difficult for him, not to the level for you. It just reminded me, because you remember you said you had that eviction, and it was hard and stuff like that. Well, that was him times 100.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because he had that thing.
Right.
And smart as a whip, man. This motherfucker's smart.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting a loan from his brother, and he opened up a small, like I would say the first location, all his locations probably this size, gym.
Okay.
24-hour gym.
And you just like put a code in, go in and train and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was one of the first ones which had like the key fob and
Yeah,
stuff. And
yeah.
it was like old school when he
Yeah.
started, right? And so he realizes after the first location that and he priced it right. It was just, he's so smart. He did it $9.99 a month. Now, that $9.99 that comes up every month, you're not canceling that. I don't care who you are. You're just not.
Yeah, so
You're not
there's a
doing
lot
it.
of breakage. People are just getting it and not even showing up.
You know what percentage of people show up? It's going to boggle your mind.
10.
10%? Nope. Less than 5%.
Wow.
So, for argument's sake, 95% of his subscribers didn't even show up. They would show up January. You know, what is that? I think, what's Quitter's Day? January 11th or some shit?
Something
It's so
that.
fucking crazy. It's so crazy because you would think it would be like end of January. It's not even, doesn't even make it to mid fucking January, right? It's like January 11th. It's called Quitter's Day. It's one of those, right? Meaning, people decide to do whatever.
New Year's resolution. They go into the gym and then before the end of the month, they're back to their normal routine.
By January 11th or some shit, it's gone, right?
Yeah.
So he would get a spike every January, beginning of January. By February 1, it was finished.
Right.
Like, it was back to that 95.5.
Yeah.
Right? So he ended up opening up like, I think by the end, it was like over 100 locations.
Wow.
He ends up now taking those 100 locations and selling them to a hedge fund, right? He made big money.
Yeah.
Massive money, right? And I remember the week before he closed the deal, we were sitting down, we're having a drink, and I'm congratulating him because, you know, I love winners, right? And I love him, his whole story. I mean, and the fact that he won. And he goes to me and says, I'm going to tell you something. He's like, none of these guys that bought this business have worked an honest day in their life.
Wow.
And none of them were grinders. And he says, when we were sitting down, they were throwing all these fucking ideas of how they're going to change the, EBITDA to 3x it, 4x it. He's like, I guarantee I'm going to buy this back at a discount from them in 3 years.
Did he do that?
He bought it back in 2 years, 2.5 years later, at like 10% of the price that he sold it. Okay?
Wow. So now
it gets better.
He uses their money to buy his business back.
Yeah.
He retains all of that cash flow, and he's still loaded from the...
Yeah. And guess what? So this was like 6 years ago. And guess what happened again?
Sold it again. God damn it!
He just sold it.
See, look, man, I need to see. Look, that's the type of story. See, look, that's what my next story needs to be. My next chapter needs to be.
We're doing it.
I sold Save Tax for $200 million.
And then
you
bought
know
it
what
back
I'm saying?
for 20.
Come on, man.
Yep. And
wow.
But he sold it for an astronomical number. Yeah. Right. And I sat down with him again. This time it was after. I said, man, what was the number? He goes, I can't disclose it. I go, come on, it's me. Just tell me the number. I almost fell off my seat.
Oh, my God. More the second time?
Oh, my God, man. A lot more, right? So I said, are you going to buy it back again in 2 years, 3 years? He said, no, these motherfuckers are smart. I'm not going to buy it again. Okay. He's like, I don't want to do it again. He's like, I'm just tired. He's like, I don't want to do it.
Just retire. Just chill.
He's finished. He's done. He's just he moved to Sardinia in Italy.
I need that, man.
And he's just chilling out.
I need that.
He worked, but dude, we sat there.
Yeah.
Before the first closing, and he told me, it's like, these guys haven't worked enough. So what ended up happening is, when his whole idea is, and let's just be honest, this is me and you. We'd be the same thing, right? If we have a $9.99 fucking charge, we're never getting rid of that.
Listen. I am scared to activate my Rocket Money app because I'm afraid that what I find is going to tell a story about me being so irresponsible that I would be embarrassed, ashamed.
I agree.
I probably got 30 subscription services that I don't even know that I have right now.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But even if it comes to Do you know how many $9 shit that pops up on my Apple?
yeah.
Right? Like, and I go, oh, this is fucking $10,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
love it, man.
I'll do it next month, right?
I love stories like this because I feel like it's foreshadowing where I'm going.
Yeah, but
right?
I see you going there.
I'm foreshadowing,
and that's why I'm bringing it up because
right.
I think that's going to be
Right,
you,
right? And
now,
in this proximity that's happening right now, you know, you are the top of your game, right? The absolute peak of your game. You're the best at what you do. You're LeBron James of your industry.
I think
you know
so.
what I'm saying? And I was talking to a guy earlier today that asked me like, what's one of the biggest gratification of like what I'm doing right now with social media and where I'm going. And I said it's when big people that I respect, that I would look at as mentors or that I would follow, recognize me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like everything that's happening right now from a guy in his space who is the best to ever do it, seeing a guy like me and seeing enough value in me to bring me here. And then you telling me a story right now that's foreshadowing where I want to be, brother, I feel like this all is like heaven sent.
I'm telling
like
you, man.
God's plan working out.
You're going to go there. You're going to go there.
For sure.
But the thing is, and I want to say, the reason you're successful is you know your demographic, right?
Yeah.
And you know what's going to retain them, right?
Yeah.
And so when I sat down with him, I said, why? Why do you think that these guys are going to fail? He said, because they're already talking about changing the pricing. And I keep telling them, you're not going to make more money, but you're going to lose money if you change $1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly, they fucked with that $9.99.
Yeah.
And they lost everybody because they fucked around with it, right? And the secret sauce was at $9.99.
It's low enough to just tuck into their monthly bills and they won't even notice it.
I know,
right?
And as soon as someone
and there's
goes,
so much other stuff for $9.99 that they're probably paying for, they forget that this is even
and it's
a thing.
gym, but it's the guilt, like, and they feel like a failure if they go, I just want to stop this. No, I failed.
Right.
And I'm not gonna fail. I'm gonna go to the gym.
Right.
I will go to that gym.
Right. They're literally paying their guilty conscience to take a back seat.
Right. And
right.
I'm going, and if I go to that gym 2 days this month, it's only $5 a trip, and it's worth it. It's worth it because it's not worth the fucking headache to even cancel that shit.
I feel like I might have been to one of his gyms because I feel like I have because I went to New Orleans. I went to New Orleans to visit, and there was a 24-hour gym that was like one of them type where you just check in and then go. Yeah. And I went online and I signed up for a free trial and I went to that shit for them 2 days that I was there and then I canceled that motherfucker. It's just and that had to be his. It was probably this big, times the size of this. You know? Yeah.
And it's simple.
Yeah.
So what he does, the reason he's brilliant is so he puts this stuff up like near like hospitals. Right? So he gets all the nurses and the doctors who want to be healthy, which they're never going to do. Or he'll go to like near airports and stuff. And, you know, we have the pilots and, when I land, I'm going to hit, the gym and I'll go and I'll walk and I'll lift. You're never fucking doing that. You're just not.
Yeah.
I'm not being discouraging to people, but you're just not.
Yeah.
It's only 1% of the population that's doing that. Yeah. And you're not part of that 1%.
Yeah.
If you are, God bless you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're just not doing that. Right? And he did it near like big apartment complexes, right? That don't have like, and people in the apartment complexes, $9.99. Even a schmuck who knows nothing about working out, right? I could hit the treadmill. And it's only going to cost me $120 for the year. I'm going to hit that treadmill. You're never going to hit that treadmill. You're just not. And he figured that out.
Yeah.
And here you are. Here you are. You figure it out. Also in your business. Yeah. That sauce. Yeah. You got your special sauce. Yeah. It's working. Yeah.
And for me now, I just need I'm just working on systems. Yeah. Because you're only as strong as your systems.
100%.
So I'm making sure I have all of the systems in place to make everything that needs to be done to run the business successfully as easy as possible. Yeah. And so that when somebody does want to come and take it off of my hands, it'd be easy for them to like implement
their situation.
Need you. Yeah.
And that's what you
just
need.
Get right in. Yeah.
You gotta be like, all the systems are set up.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with me, and we're basically doing the same thing in our business, right? Where we're trying to take ourselves out of the everyday
Yeah.
to put the systems in to say, hey, you know what? Investor funding is going to run with or without Steve and Ross.
Yeah.
Right? And if they're not here, these are the systems.
Yeah.
God bless you. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to add on to the system? You want to take away from the system?
Yeah.
We gave you a fully functioning fucking business.
Yeah.
Now
I
you
love
make
it.
that decision of what you
I
want to
love
do.
it. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
And I think you're gonna get there. I love your whole business idea. I love, I love it. I love that type of business.
Yeah.
I love that type of service. That niche service business is one of my favorite fucking things.
Yeah.
Really, honestly.
Yeah.
And if I could give you any advice outside of real estate like that, I would just say, add that real estate component to it.
Yeah.
Because then you're king.
I am.
You're king of the hill.
I'm about
right?
to do it, man.
Then,
I'm gonna do it with your help, man.
So add that real estate component to it. A, B, you're right. Put in systems that's going to be free of Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jermaine's here. God bless him.
Yeah.
Jermaine's not here. God bless him.
Yeah.
He's not here. Who gives a shit? Shit's still running.
Right.
Still making money, and that's that.
All right. That's where we're going.
I love it. You've been listening to The Game of Loans, where real estate battles are fought and won. Make sure to fortify your defenses by subscribing. Cash flow is coming, and we'll be back next time to help you claim your throne. The war of wealth continues.